Have you ever wondered how small daily rituals can transform the energy in your home and, consequently, your life? Salt, with its purity and purifying properties, is a powerful tool that, when used in a sacred corner of the home, can bring balance and harmony. In this video, we'll explore Buddhist teachings on the use of salt, the signs of transformation you may notice, and how this simple act can connect with your spiritual journey. Get ready to discover a path of renewal and serenity. The use of salt in daily rituals is a practice that deeply aligns with Buddhist teachings on purification and energy. Salt, in its essence, symbolizes purity and the ability to transform environments. When we place salt in a sacred corner of our home, we are actually creating a space of protection and harmony. This simple but powerful ritual reminds us of the impermanence of things and the importance of keeping our mind and home clean. When using salt, be aware of the intention you place in this act. In Buddhism, intention is fundamental. It shapes our reality and influences the energies around us. When pouring a handful of salt into a container, for example, visualize your worries and negativity dissolving, like salt dissolves in water. This is a gesture of surrender, where we let go of what no longer serves us, allowing pure energy to flow into our space. Regular practice of this ritual can lead to the perception of subtle but significant changes in your life. You may begin to notice an increase in tranquility and mental clarity as the environment becomes more conducive to meditation and reflection. In addition, the presence of salt in our home can act as a constant reminder of the need to take care of our own essence. Just as salt purifies space, we must also purify our mind and heart, removing thoughts and emotions that imprison us. By carrying out this practice, we are committing ourselves to a process of renewal, an invitation to transformation that echoes the Buddhist principles of living in the present moment and cultivating compassion. Ready to transform your life in 21 days? With the 21-day life-changing challenge with Buddhist practices and rituals, you'll learn how to apply simple rituals, such as the use of salt, to purify your mind and space. Discover how small changes can generate big transformations. Check out the link in the first fixed comment. Now, let's talk about the signs of transformation you may notice in your life after incorporating this practice. It's important to be attentive to these changes, as they are reflections of the internal work we're doing. Often, the first sign is a feeling of lightness. This can manifest as a decrease in anxiety or greater clarity in your thoughts. As the energy in your home transforms, you may also feel a stronger connection with your own essence, allowing you to express yourself more authentically. Another telling sign is increased harmony in interpersonal relationships. When we create an environment of peace and purification, this reverberates in our interactions. Positive energy attracts more positivity. You may notice that arguments become less frequent and that understanding and empathy prevail. This is a direct reflection of the work you are doing in your home and, consequently, on yourself. Finally, practicing salt can lead to greater intuition. As the mind calms down and the space purifies, we become more receptive to inner guidance. This spiritual connection is strengthened, bringing a sense of purpose and clarity about our path. Salt, therefore, is not just a physical element, but a symbol of the spiritual journey we are all on. By transforming the environment around us, we are actually shaping our inner selves and creating a sacred space for growth and enlightenment. The use of salt as a purifying element is deeply rooted in various spiritual traditions, including Buddhism. Salt, in its essence, is a symbol of purity and preservation. When you use it in your sacred space, be aware that you are invoking an energy that can cleanse any negative vibrations that may be present. In environments where there is tension, stress, or even disharmony, the simple presence of salt can act as a catalyst for transformation. Imagine a corner of your home, a space that you can dedicate to meditation or reflection. By adding salt there, you are not only creating a lighter environment, but you are also setting a clear intention: the search for mental and emotional clarity. The act of placing salt in a container, be it a bowl or a small altar, is a ritual that can be loaded with meaning. When you do this, visualize the energy of the salt absorbing negativity, like a sponge cleaning dirty water. This practice is not merely symbolic. It reverberates with the Buddhist idea that what we do in our physical space can influence our mental and spiritual state. Over time, you may begin to notice subtle changes in your life. The energy in your home may become lighter, and you may feel more centered and at peace. These signs of transformation are a reflection of your own journey. In Buddhist philosophy, we recognize that change begins from within. By taking care of your space, you are actually taking care of yourself. The practice of maintaining a harmonious environment is a way of cultivating mindfulness, one of the pillars of Buddhism. When you dedicate yourself to creating a sacred space, you are also dedicating yourself, allowing energy to flow freely. It's important to remember that transformation doesn't happen overnight. Just like the growth of a plant, it requires patience and care. In Buddhist teachings, we learn that impermanence is a fundamental characteristic of life. So, as you observe the changes in your space and in your life, embrace each small transformation as part of an ongoing process. Every day is a new opportunity for renewal, and every ritual, no matter how small, contributes to your spiritual path. Another practice that can accompany the use of salt is meditation. By meditating in this sacred space, you can connect more deeply with your intentions and desires. Meditation helps to calm the mind and open the heart. When you sit in silence, allowing thoughts to come and go, it is as if you are washing your soul with the same purity that salt brings to its environment. This practice can strengthen the connection between the physical space and your interior, promoting a sense of unity. By cultivating these simple habits, you not only transform your space, you also transform your own energy. The harmony you create in your home is reflected in your life, promoting a cycle of positivity and love. Through Buddhist wisdom, we can understand that every act, even the simplest, has the potential to guide us towards enlightenment. So celebrate these small daily rituals and allow them to become an essential part of your spiritual journey. When it comes to transforming the energy in our home, it's essential to understand that everything is interconnected. Every object, every element, and every space we inhabit emanates a unique vibration. Salt, with its purifying properties, acts as a catalyst that can raise these vibrations. When we use salt in a sacred corner of the house, we are, in a way, creating a space of intention. This space can be a simple altar, where we place images of our masters, flowers, or other meaningful elements. By doing this, we are not only cleansing the energy of the environment, but also establishing a place for reflection and meditation. The practice of using salt, especially when mixed with water, is a tradition that goes back centuries. In Buddhism, purification is a fundamental step towards enlightenment. Just as water purifies the body, salt purifies space, allowing energy to flow freely. When we put some salt in a container and leave it in a sacred corner, we are symbolically allowing negativity to dissolve. Salt absorbs the heavy vibrations that can accumulate over time. In a clean and light environment, it is easier to cultivate inner peace and mental clarity. The signs of transformation that can emerge after this practice are subtle but profoundly significant. You may notice a lightness in the air, a sense of tranquility that permeates the space. Arguments may become less frequent. Tensions may decrease, and a harmonious flow of communication may emerge. This is the result of an environment that has been intentionally purified. It's as if the home itself is inviting us to breathe and connect with our deepest essence. When the home is in harmony, we are able to reflect that harmony in our daily lives, illuminating the paths we choose to follow. Buddhist practice teaches us that transformation begins from within. Therefore, when using salt as a means of purification, we must not forget that true cleansing begins with the mind and heart. By dedicating ourselves to daily rituals such as meditation and gratitude, we are creating an internal space that resonates with the peace we desire in our environment. Thus, by cleaning up the physical space, we also commit ourselves to cleaning up our emotions and thoughts. This synergy between inside and outside is fundamental for a balanced and spiritual life. As we observe these changes in our home, it's important to remember that every little step counts. Consistency in practicing daily rituals is what really brings about transformation. Salt, in its simplicity, teaches us about the importance of taking care of the small details. Don't underestimate the power of a simple gesture, such as placing salt in a sacred space. This act, although modest, can become a powerful symbol of your spiritual journey. Each grain of salt is a reminder that we are capable of transforming our lives and environments, one day at a time, with love and intention. The use of salt as a purifying element transcends its culinary function. In the Buddhist view, everything around us is interconnected, and each element of nature has its own qualities and meanings. Salt, in essence, is a symbol of preservation and purification. By using it in a sacred corner of the home, you're not just adding a physical element, you're creating a space of renewed energy. This simple eye-conscious act can help you release stagnant energies and connect more deeply with your spiritual essence. By placing salt in a container and positioning it in a space you consider sacred, such as an altar or a meditation corner, you establish a focal point for your spiritual practice. This space becomes a constant reminder of the impermanence and purity we seek in our lives. As the salt absorbs negative energy and heavy vibrations, you may notice subtle changes in your home. People who enter this space may feel lighter. You may notice an improvement in your own mood and thus attract more positive vibrations. It's important to remember that intention is fundamental in any spiritual practice. When using salt, focus on your intention of purification and renewal. Visualize unwanted energies being absorbed and transformed. The practice of connecting with sacred space and the element of salt is a way of honoring the energy that flows around and within us. In this sense, salt becomes an ally in your spiritual journey, helping to maintain an environment conducive to growth and serenity. In addition, observing the signs of transformation that arise after using salt is a mindfulness practice. Be aware of life's subtleties. If something in your home begins to change, such as an increase in family harmony or a feeling of lightness when you enter a certain space, acknowledge these signs with gratitude. Buddhism teaches us that mindfulness is a way of experiencing the present, and noticing the changes around us can guide us on our journey of self-knowledge. When we reflect on the importance of daily rituals, we find the opportunity to cultivate a higher state of mind. The practice of using salt should not be seen as an isolated act, but rather as part of a routine that includes meditation, gratitude, and compassion. By integrating small rituals into your life, you open yourself up to the possibility of transformation, not only in your physical space, but also within. Connecting with the sacred is a personal journey, and each step you take is significant. By using salt with the intention of purification, you become an agent of change in your own life and in the lives of those around you. Remember that simplicity can bring about profound transformations. Every gesture, every thought, and every practice of gratitude and love contributes to creating a more harmonious environment that is aligned with your spiritual essence. May this salt practice inspire you to continue exploring the infinite possibilities of spiritual renewal in your daily life. The use of salt in daily rituals can be a profoundly transformative practice, as it is a symbol of purification and protection. In the Buddhist tradition, the idea of cleansing is not limited to the physical aspect, but extends to the emotional and spiritual. When you introduce salt as an element in your sacred space, you are actually creating a microcosm of peace and harmony. Salt, by its very nature, has the ability to absorb dense, negative energies. Imagine, for a moment, the energy that permeates your home. Every emotion, every thought, every interaction that takes place within those walls leaves a mark. Salt acts as a purifying agent, helping to cleanse these energies and restore balance. By placing it in a special corner, you are establishing a sacred space, a constant reminder of your intention to live in harmony. When performing this ritual, it is important that the intention is clear. In Buddhist philosophy, intention is fundamental. When you place the salt, do so with a focused mind and an open heart. Visualize the negative energy being absorbed, while light and positivity fill the space. This practice is not just about the salt itself, but about the state of mind you cultivate when using it. The act of purification is also an act of reflection. Ask yourself, what do you want to release? What energies do you want to welcome? The transformation you may notice is not limited to the physical environment. Often, as you cleanse the space around you, you also cleanse your mind and heart. The tranquility that begins to emanate from your home can spill over into your daily life, bringing clarity and serenity. This is especially true in times of stress or confusion. By returning to your sacred space, where salt is present, you can find a refuge that calms the mind and renews the spirit. The practice of using salt can also be an opportunity to cultivate gratitude. By recognizing the blessings in your life, even the small ones, you begin to attract more positive energy. Salt, in this context, becomes a symbol not only of purification, but also of appreciation. By taking care of your space, you are taking care of yourself. In addition, salt can serve as a physical reminder of impermanence, one of the central concepts of Buddhism. Just as salt dissolves in water, difficult situations and negative feelings are also transitory. By performing this ritual, you connect with the ephemeral nature of life. Each salt crystal can be seen as a representation of experiences that come and go, and this can help you let go of attachments and fears. Finally, when incorporating salt into your daily practice, remember that every little gesture counts. These rituals don't have to be elaborate. Simplicity is often the key to depth. A handful of salt in a sacred corner, a clear intention and an open heart can indeed transform not just your home, but your whole life. This is an invitation for you to connect with the essence of what it means to live with intention and awareness, aligning yourself with the flow of life and allowing serenity to manifest in all its forms. As we incorporate salt into our daily rituals, we should remember its essential and symbolic nature. In many cultures, salt is a symbol of purity and preservation. In the Buddhist context, it can be seen as an element that helps us to remember and cultivate full presence, awareness. When you decide to use salt in a sacred corner of your home, you are actually committing yourself to an act of intention. It's an invitation to meditate and reflect on what we want to nurture in our lives. Imagine, for a moment, a small container of salt on an altar, surrounded by flowers and a lit candle. This space becomes a point of connection between the material and the spiritual. By adding salt to this altar, you are symbolically cleansing the energy around you, allowing light and positivity to flow freely. In Buddhism, we understand that the environment in which we live directly affects our mind and, consequently, our state of being. Salt, from this perspective, acts as a purifying agent, dissipating heavy energies and making room for serenity. It's important to remember that the act of using salt is not limited to a mere physical practice. It is a ritual that requires your full attention. When pouring salt into a container, do so with the intention of purifying not only the space, but also your thoughts and emotions. Breathe deeply and feel the connection between you and the universe. This moment of presence creates a bridge between your inner and outer selves, promoting a state of harmony that reverberates in all aspects of your life. The signs of transformation may be subtle, but they are powerful. You may notice a lightness in your environment, a mental clarity that didn't exist before, or even an increase in your ability to concentrate on your spiritual practices. Salt, in its simplicity, teaches us that change begins with small steps. By taking care of your sacred space, you are also taking care of yourself. Each grain of salt is a reminder that purity and peace can be cultivated every day. In addition, salt also has a deep connection with water, an element that symbolizes fluidity and adaptation. When we place salt in a sacred corner, we are evoking this duality, the rigidity of salt with the softness of water. This balance is fundamental to our spiritual journey. Learning to flow with life's circumstances while maintaining the solidity of our principles is an essential teaching of Buddhism. The salt, dissolving in the water, reminds us to be flexible but also firm in our search for enlightenment. Finally, by creating a sacred space with salt, you are not only transforming your home, but also your life. Each daily ritual becomes an opportunity for connection, purification, and renewal. Thus, this simple practice of using salt becomes a powerful tool for spiritual transformation. It is an invitation to always remember the beauty of the present and the power that resides in your intention. May this practice bring you peace and clarity at every step of your journey,